Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we're taking a look at something brand new from 4Patriots, and that is the 4Patriots Campfire Cook Kit. Let's check it out and let's try it out. Alright folks, welcome back. So this is a really neat kit, and it's not a kit for a solo or even two people. This is more a kit for if you're going camping or you're in a bug out situation where you'd use for a family. It's a little bit of a bigger cook kit. Another neat thing about it is if you're using smaller stoves, if your emergency plan, say, requires you to use a Coleman 2-burner stove because you have an electric stove in your house and when that goes out you have no way to cook, well, here's where this comes in handy. Because this is a little bit bigger than little tiny camping, pans and pots, but it's not too big that it won't fit on there. If you try to use your regular pots and pans, as we've done in a few videos, you can see they get very bulky. You pull in a big 14-inch cook pan on top of one of those little burners, and it takes over one burner and half of the other. So it's definitely a good way to have something ready for cooking in your home in an emergency situation, as well as an awesome, really well-rounded kit for outside use as well. So let's take a look inside and see what comes in this kit. All right, and I will give you a description of everything that's in here. I did open it up just to make sure nothing was damaged. So you've got your lid here, okay? And you've got this big pot, but we're gonna get into this thing first, because this is a whole bunch of tools, and it's kind of cool how it comes. This is essentially like the Swiss Army knife of cooking. This thing has everything in it. You even got a cheese grater on this thing. That is really cool. You do have a spoon. The nice part is it's nice and long, so you can reach down and stir with it. It's not one little tiny one. You have a ton of different tools on here. Let me see if I can pull them all out for you. Alright, so we got them mostly out here. Now I have stuff on here that I'm not really sure what it is, but there's a lot of cool stuff on here. I am digging that cheese grater. I gotta say, that's not something the Swiss Army knives ever thought of. So, and I missed one thing here. According to this, that's the fork. The fork and the spoon are here, okay? So you have a fork and a spoon, a corkscrew, ginger shredder, okay? Or that, I'm assuming. You have a peeler right there, cheese grater. I guess that's the ginger shredder. Yeah, because I bet you this side's a little more aggressive. Yep. So you have that. You have this, the grater, bottle opener, saw knife, which is, I know I saw it. There it is, right there. Okay, and a potato presser. Maybe that's that, and that's the ginger grater. Yeah, it is, because see, this is really aggressive here. That's your potato presser. There wasn't really a thing on this yet, a diagram. But all in all, I think you can figure out how to use any of this stuff. That is a really cool, I mean, this alone, I would probably pay like 50 bucks for, because I just think it's so cool and so handy. When you're cooking in the outdoors, to have a full kit like this, very, very nice and very cool. And just the tools on it alone, and of course you got your corkscrew on the bottom. I didn't pull it out, but you see it there. Very handy to have all these little tools right there. And the fork and knife are cool too, because you can actually use it while you're cooking stuff. You can move it around. The only thing I would have liked to see on here is a ladle. Not a ladle, a spatula. You could put it over here, kind of like this, a flat spatula. This feels good in your hand. It has that shiny look to it, which made me think it was kind of cheap metal. But this actually feels really good in your hand. The knife comes very, very, very sharp. So definitely nice little kit. Okay, let's keep going inside there. All right, in the pan. Okay, so here's your pot, and you do have a nice rubberized. We're going to try this out because we're going to be using this today. Nice rubberized handle up top here, so I can grab that and not worry about it. Now again, if you're using this over an open fire, we're not doing that today because it's a little rainy and yucky out. But if you're using this over an open fire with flame coming everywhere, you don't want to put it like that. You probably want to stick it up in the air like that. But generally, I think this will be really nice. Definitely big enough. See, it's that middle ground. It's big enough to boil pasta and stuff in, which we will be doing today. But it's not too big where it's going to take over your entire dual burner Coleman camp stove. Lastly, this guy here. Now look at that. That is a really nice pan. This is currently locked. Let me unlock it. There we go. Okay, so push that up there to lock it into place. And that is a really nice pan. Definitely handy, easy to use. I am going to put this into its correct slots because it's not in there now. Let me unlock it again. There we go. Wasn't in the slot, so this was kind of pointing downward. This is thick stuff. This is not those little cheap Walmart cook kits. This is thick stuff, really well made. I believe the pan and pot both have clad construction bottom, so they got that even heat distribution. You know, if you use thin cook kits, that, you know, it'll burn right here where the flame is. The rest of the stuff's ice cold. These things are all clad construction on here. You can feel it on the bottom, you know. And same as this guy here, all nice and thick, and you can almost see it where you have that dual seam there, that dual layer. So these are definitely a nice set. This is a little bit above and beyond, say, your basic kit somewhere. It is not light, but it's definitely going to do the job for you. The folding handles mean this can be carried easily. You have that nice storage sack. You can even make up your own. Let's say you're just going on a trip and you just want to take the pot or the pan, you know. You can take, I would take the pot only, all right? Fold it up, you're ready to go. You can fold this thing up easily and you're ready to go. And I'm telling you, you can hear that. That is some seriously thick, decent construction. Heck, I take this with me alone just for the convenience factor. Because when I do camp, I like to actually cook stuff. I know I've shown you tons of freeze-dried entrees and freeze-dried food, and I cook some freeze-dried food as well, but I like to actually cook stuff, especially if it's just for fun, for a day trip, or maybe going up to the mountains. You know, you bring up a couple of eggs with you, a piece of steak, whatever, and you make yourself real food up there, and you enjoy it in the outdoors. So this is definitely a nice kit. I believe they run in the range of $64 for the whole kit. Now, like I said, I'd probably pay $50 or $60 just for that. And that is nice. That is, it's beefy. It feels good in your hand. It doesn't feel cheap. I know sometimes these knockoff, what are they? The knockoff Swiss Army knives feel terrible. This does not feel like one. This feels like a really nice, well-made tool. So I'd probably pay that just for that alone. That's kind of cool. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little, this is actually something I've never tried before. I've thought about it as prep food, but I've never tried it. We're going to take a little of this freeze-dried wholesaler elbow pasta. And this stuff is awesome, by the way. It's very, very quick hydrating. What I do is I let it hydrate for a few minutes and then I boil it. By the time you get that first bubble of rolling boil, it's ready to go. And we're going to make macaroni and cheese with it, but in an interesting way. This stuff here. Now, there's a dual reason for doing this. Number one, I want to try this out, just for an easy mac and cheese. Second of all, I want to show you how long this stuff lasts. This was production, November 16th, 2016. Okay, so this stuff's pretty old. We're going to see if it's still good. I know a lot of times the cheese similar to this in the macaroni and cheese packets can come out disgusting. You know, if you have it for a very long period of time. So if for some reason this isn't good, we'll get another and try it. But I'll learn a valuable lesson because I haven't opened one of these up yet. And this is stuff I just get from Walmart, the Rico's Premium Cheddar Aged Cheese Sauce. It's definitely aged now. So we're going to get the pasta going, and I'll be right back in a few minutes with the stove. I'm going to use my Brulin, my bigger camp stove, because it'll fit the pots and everything nicely. And we'll try this out and see how it works, because I think that would be an awesome combo for this particular cook kit. Matter of fact, I might even be able to fit it in there. We'll try that before we start cooking. Be right back. Before we get this whole thing set up, I wanted to see if it'll fit, and I don't think it will. Unfortunately, I think it's just too big, just slightly. I was going to try and put this in here like this, but as you can tell, it's just too big. This is such a cool big stove and such a bunch of power in it. And I was kind of hoping it would fit, but it won't. But hey, this has a little carrying case too. If you guys are interested, I will put a link to the stove down below. I get a ton of questions every time I use it. Where'd you get that? That's so cool. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're not super expensive either. Another neat feature of this is it does keep the gas far, far away. I mean, you can really keep your gas can really off into the distance on the side over there. So you see, you got about, I would say, 4 feet of gas area there, gas tube. All right, let me finish setting up, and I'll bring you back. All right, so this recipe today isn't going to win any awards for culinary virtuoso. It's really pretty darn simple. But I want to try it out and see if it works, because I have been storing away this cheese sauce for a long time and rotating it. This was just one that I hadn't rotated yet. And I always thought it comes in handy for a lot of things, not just that. I mean, you could pour some on some hamburger and make cheesy beef, you know. Anyway, let's start this up. I do have this filled up to about here with water. I'm just going to go for it and boil it because I've done both. I've hydrated this stuff for a little bit and then boiled it. And I've also just straight up boiled it. Now remember, folks, with my freeze-dried wholesaler stuff, if you use my link down below, I thought I got all those out of there, darn. If you use my link down below, you will save 15% just by using my link. There's no codes, there's no fancy anything, you just use my link. And yes, I did wash my hands before doing this, but I'm the only one that's going to be eating this, so I'll give myself my own sicknesses. You can use my link down below with the freeze-dried wholesaler link that I have in the description down below and save 15% on any of his food items. If you think macaroni is the only thing he has, you got to check it out. It's everything from desserts, which we're going to be doing a giveaway for soon, to filet mignon, to steaks, to chicken, to beef, cooked and uncooked stuff. You will just be amazed. Vegetables, spelt he had there last time, you name it, he's got it. So definitely check out the site, and if you want to place an order to try it out, this is really good, clean food, by the way. There's not a ton of preservatives in this stuff. One of the things I like about his ingredients is they'll be like, what's in this? Beef, salt. That's it, you know? So definitely check them out. Anyway, let's fire this up, and again, I have my top a little bit up there. Got my little isobutane canister. Woo! Always fun. So we're going to fire that up. I don't want to cover it. Just want to let it sit there and kind of heat up. Now we're going to open up this now. And this has one of those pull top cans, so let's see if it survived since 2014. Smells good. Don't see any mold. I'm going to be putting it in this pan because I'm going to heat it up a little bit once that's done. Yeah, it's not that nasty consistency. It is jello-y, but it's supposed to be like that. Okay, that's okay. It's not, basically with the mac and cheese, you know, the pre-made mac and cheese sauce, if you open that stuff up, it'll be a hard blob that never melts. You know, the cheese, a little tinfoil cheese thing that comes in. Now, one of the other things I did to add a little bit of color to this, because I know it comes out white, and it's going to be confusing for some people if you tell them it's mac and cheese and not noodles Alfredo or something, is I rehydrated recently some freeze-dried wholesaler cheddar cheese, and that's in here, okay? So I rehydrated that, so I'm going to throw a little bit of this in too, and kind of mix everything up a little bit. Gives it a little more of that natural color that we expect from macaroni and cheese. And I got to use it up anyway since it's hydrated, so figured this is an excellent way to do it. Alright, now you can throw anything you want in here. You can throw bacon bits in here. I have stored bacon bits with very good success over the years. You can store them, throw them in there, so you get a little bit of protein, a little meat protein in there too, as well. So there you go, we got that ready. That's going to melt down when I'm done with this. We're going to let this boil up. Once it boils, the minute you see that first bubble in this stuff, it's what they would call al dente, or a little bit firm. If you like it firm, that's good. If you don't, let it boil a few minutes more, but not too much because it'll get mushy. Alright, bring you back when the pasta's done. So, as you can tell, that started to boil. We're going to turn it down. I want to give you a little information on the dimensions of the pots and pans before I strain that and take it off camera. This is a 2-quart capacity pot there. Size is 7 inches by 4.1 inches. The pan is 7.8 inches by 1.9 inches in thickness. And as you can see, just by sitting out here, the cheese is starting to soften up. So we're going to warm that up a little bit just to make it softer. And we're going to strain that too. So all in all, a 3-pound kit with all this stuff involved in it and really sturdy. You gotta love it. One of the things I like about this, and we're going to see, is how well I like that clad bottom on it. We're going to see how well that works because I don't want to burn this cheese, but I just want to warm it up. So if that bottom is really not, you know, clad, you'll see those 3 little burner spots on it. If it is, you'll see that the whole bottom heated up evenly and it got nice and soft. So let me strain that and let's try our cheese sauce. So next up, we're going to try the pan out, see how we like it, because I want to see how it melts the cheese without burning the cheese. Now, of course, any pan with cheese in it is going to need to be stirred. And now you can see I have the flame on very, very low. One of the things I love about this particular stove is you can go really low. As you can see, now I've already tasted this, it's fine. So that old of a cheese in that can, even with the pull top, was perfectly good. It was made in 2014. So you can do your math from there and see that that's pretty darn old and it's still tasty. Alright, so I don't want to bore you with me stirring the cheese here. So I will bring you back once that's all melty and soft. And we will move on to mixing the stuff together, and I'll give you my final opinion on this whole cook kit, because I gotta say, I'm impressed with it so far. I love the tool. I love that. Give me a minute, I'll see you then. Alright, there you go. Came out nice and smooth, even with the freeze-dried wholesaler cheddar cheese in there, plus the white cheddar from that little container from Rico's. We're gonna mix the two together now, up front here. There we we go. I'm going to see how this comes out. We're also going to see if there's any burn marks on the bottom of this pan with all that cheese going in it. I don't see any, do you? I mean, we'll of course give you a better look, but as you can see, nothing burned to the bottom of that pan where the burner jets are. So they're definitely a good even heating bottom there on that. Really like that. Let's mix this up and I'll show you how quickly you can feed somebody macaroni and cheese without really working too hard. So there you go. I mean, look at that. Nice and cheesy and thick and creamy. Look at that. It's just awesome. I'll take a little taste and let you know. Damn, that's good. That is really good. Okay, good idea. I give myself a few points on that one. So anyway, that is the 4Patriots Campfire Cooking Kit. Expect to see this used more in the channel. This is going to really come in handy out here. When I'm doing larger cooking, you know, when I'm using a 2-burner stove, these things fit perfectly next together on a Coleman stove. Even a single burner, you see how easy it is to make a meal. You know, and maybe you want to add chicken to that or bacon or whatever you want to stick in there, even some Spam. You got yourself a pretty good meal very, very quickly and easily. What I want to do quickly is put this into another dish, clean everything up, and show you what it looks like when it's clean, and then we'll finish up the video. Alright, so I got the food transferred over to a bowl, and you can see how delicious that looks. You also notice it's a little bit lower than when we brought it out. We got the lid cleaned up, the pot. Of course, the pot really didn't have much in it that would burn. And most of all, check this out. Now, we all know that, oops, I missed a spot. Most times cheese, especially cheese, would burn to the bottom of a pan on a burner, where there's 3 little burners burning away at it. That copper clad bottom, the clad bottom here, it's nice and thick. No burn marks at all. Nothing. I just literally washed this out with some hot water and a little bit of soap and a scrub brush. Look at that, perfect. Didn't need to scrub anything off it. All in all, very impressed with the kit. Really like it. Like I said, the whole kit's going to be around $64. We don't have a price on it yet, but I'll put a link down below when we do. And this tool alone, I'd probably pay that for. So, definitely a cool little system. There's your lid. There's everything right there, ready to go. To put it away, you're just going to open this bag back up, stick it in the bag, and you're ready to go. So I will leave a link down below to this Campfire Cook Kit. I would have tried it over fire today, but we've got flash floods in town, so don't think that would have gone over too well. It would have been me floating away kit. So definitely, we're going to try it out. I want to try it over my little rocket stove in the backyard and see how that works out. But it's definitely a cool little kit, very easy to carry, very easy for you to take on, you know, car camp trips, even in a family bug out type kit. I would carry something like this. Matter of fact, that may be an awesome place for this to live. It's on top of my I'm Never Coming Home kit right there. So definitely a neat little system. It does come with information and directions on it, as well as a section for notes and recipes, which I thought was kind of funny. But these are all the tools right there. You can see there's tons of tools on that. As a matter of fact, let's find out what that piece was, because that's going to drive me nuts. Number 4. Ginger shredder. I was right. Cool. Okay. It was that little piece at the bottom. So definitely a cool little system. I love the way it works. Love the way it's integrated together. And not all that bad at 3 pounds for a big kit like that. Anyway, folks, link will be down below. Don't forget to check out that link. Don't forget to check out all our other links. We have our merch site down there as well. If you want to pick up some mugs or anything like that from the store. We have our affiliate store down there, our Amazon affiliate store. Pretty much everything that I use in the channel, I like to put in the affiliate store. I will leave you a link to the Brulin stove we used. I know there were a lot of questions on that. People wanted to see what it looked like and how much it was. Under that, you guys saw in action, freeze-dried wholesaler food here. My link will save you 15% just by clicking it. If you want to try out some of this stuff, and as you can see, it makes one heck of a nice macaroni and cheese, those noodles. You can definitely check them out. I'm not trying to entice you, like, look how good that is. You can definitely check them out. The link down there will save you 15% just by clicking on it. There's no codes, there's no BS. You just go click the link and you're down. Below that is our My Patriot Supply link. Our 3-month kit this month is $250 off. There's also a 4-week kit if you want to get started a little smaller. There's a ton of other stuff on that site. So go to preparewithiridium.com. That's preparewithiridium.com. and you can find all the deals that I have on that site just for you. And below that is our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Please check them out. If you're interested in trying out Thrive, there's nothing to join. You can try them out. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.